Hello and welcome to the 100th episode of the Fantasy Threesome FPL podcast. Hello there, I'm Phil. I think it sums up our podcast that our 100th episode, instead of being a bonanza of fun, it will be a bonanza of fun, but the celebratory 100th episode will actually be an episode 101 because we're in too much of a rush this week. But it will still be fun. I'm here with Mike. How are you, Mike?
Hello, very good, thank you. About to have my lunch. Exciting times.
Oh, you are very loud. And
sorry.
What are you rustling into? What are you eating?
Well, I don't know. It's like what I like to call Greg's Roulette. Somebody has gone to Greg's.
Yes.
It's like the equivalent of Revels. And all I've got here is a pastry based. We know it's square, but that could be anything. Could be chicken, could be steak, could be cheese and onion.
The issue with Greg's now is that it's never hot.
This is pleasantly warm, actually.
You have to ask for what's hot.
Well, look, I'll hold off. Let's do the pleasantries, and then we can play a bit of Greg's Roulette.
Can you show me it, and we can play guess the? Oh, it could be a bean cheese and I'm going bean cheese sausage.
Steak bake.
Anthony's with us.
Hello,
Anthony.
Anthony, how are you?
Well, I'm just looking at Mike's lunch with jealous eyes. I had some fruit bread toasted, which was delightful, but not quite as delightful as playing Greg's Roulette, unfortunately.
Okay, well, take a bite then, Mike. Let's do this now. Let's get this over with.
What a way to start our 100th episode. Welcome.
It's a very big bite. For those listening along, you just have to trust me. He went all in.
Well, I don't want to have to take 2 bites before I know what it is.
That is the problem.
That is very much a sausage, cheese, and bean.
Yes.
Well, Philip Botto knows his Greg's. What can you say?
I've won the quiz. That means Ant's getting his captain pick this week.
It's a very brief quiz this week.
There you go.
So, boys, we've been away for what seems like forever. Did we do our last? No, we did. We've done a pod since the Queen passed away, haven't we? Yeah. But we had the international break, which has left a period of mourning for Premier League football, really. I mean, terrible. I mean, what have you been up to in your 2 weeks off, Anthony? Anything fun?
Well, boys, got into Speedway in the last few weeks. Me and my lad every Wednesday night down at the Pool Stadium watching the mighty Pool Pirates. And we seem to be a good luck charm because we've been 4 times and they've won every single time. So, getting into my Speedway. But like everybody else, glad the international break is coming to an end. It sucks. I'm bored of it. And Premier League, welcome back. Can't wait to have it back.
How about you, Mike? Anything exciting?
I'm trying to think of nights out I've had. I went to an awards night the other night, and at the awards night, the after party was karaoke. It was karaoke with Barry from EastEnders. True story. Sean Williamson. It was an hour of party bangers, and people could get up and sing on stage with him as part of karaoke. I didn't. I resisted the urge.
What would your karaoke song of choice be?
Oh gosh, I used to like a little bit of Beyond the Sea. I was a bit of a crooner, a bit of the old school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Beyond the Sea was my go-to back in the day.
I thought you Simply Red.
Duet one?
Me and you, Ant, did a duet to Blue Dabba Dee by I-65.
What a stag do that was. Good.
I've got the video somewhere. Maybe I could clip the audio for our 100th celebration in our 101st episode.
That really would make it bonanza. Good times.
It would be.
And you, Phil, what have you been up to, mate?
Yes.
I've been to Italy 3 days. Had probably the nicest pizza I've ever had in my life from a little pizzeria in a small village called Ogiate Alona. The pizzeria was Vizi. They can have some free sponsorship. It was incredible. Best pizza
you would hope that is where you'd have the best pizza ever, isn't it?
Yeah, but I've been to Italy before and had very nice pizzas, but this was unbelievably good. It was a spicy salami, cheese, tomato, red onion, and this was the and lots of red onion, which was really good, and gorgonzola.
Love the kick of a bit of gorgonzola.
Yeah,
Just
sounds delightful.
Just dots of gorgonzola. It was amazing. And then this week went to see Alan Fletcher live. The guy who played Carl Kennedy.
Of course you did. Carl Kennedy from Neighbours. Yeah, how was it?
It was amazing. Got my jumper on today. Susan, it was just one kiss. Carl Kennedy, 1998. Yeah. So that was amazing. And I bought this at the merch stand. So we had a meet and greet. Right, we had a meet and greet section. So we were lined up outside this sort of hotel thing that we were at, meet and greet, and then it started raining after about half an hour in this line. And then the tour manager said, "Look, I'll do something about this." Anyway, so we went in. He got us to go through and queue for the meet and greet through the kitchen, which was a bit weird, so being in this commercial kitchen. And then the chef walks into this kitchen, looks at like people snaking around his kitchen, and just says, "What the is going on?" Like getting really angry. And I was like, "Look, mate, we were just told to be here." It was a bit weird.
You nominated yourself spokesman for the queue, did you?
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Absolutely. Yeah, and
like some kind of union rep there on the picket lines talking to him. Yeah, okay, brilliant.
That's me. So anyway, then we see. I go and meet Alan Fletcher, have a photo and all that. It's lovely. And then go to the merch stand, buy this lovely jumper, and then I took a photo of this jumper and I sent it to the family messenger group. Susan, it was just one kiss, and then I sent the photo #merch. Then realised I'd actually sent the photo to a lady I'd been talking about a PJ Masks toy from on Facebook Marketplace. That was a bit awkward. She got a picture of me going, "Ah."
Oh gosh.
What more could you want?
What a treat.
So the meet and greet, out of interest, how long did that last for?
A couple of minutes. I asked him how he's finding the UK on this occasion, and he, because he was here when the Queen died, he's been over for a while, so we had a nice chat about, where he's been and stuff. Yeah, lovely.
Okay.
Did you rub his back and tell him that you loved him, or anything like that? That people might know at a meet and greet? No.
No,
we better just give some context to that, because that's a very odd question for you to ask. Anthony there, dear listener, is having a dig at the fact that I once stroked Hannah from S Club 7's back. I'm sure we've covered it on the pod before.
It's definitely
she referred to me as a little bit creepy. Anyway, let's look at fantasy football, shall we?
Let's look at fantasy football. How did your punts get on when we last played fantasy football? In the last millennia. How did your punts get on?
Well, I had Michael Antonio, who did absolutely nothing.
Oh, okay. I had my dear friend Bella Kotchap. Yeah, well, I had him, and I got him in as my punt. I think, it's been that long ago, and I didn't have him in my team. I thought I'd signed him. I didn't. But yeah, I got him in purely for the sound clip, and he failed.
Yeah, well, I had Paquetá, and that was a waste of time. So nil point all round, guys.
Poor show.
That was a poor show, and it was a poor show from our listeners. Only 2 listeners got any points this week.
Wow.
So FPL Commander got 6 points. He went for Tierney, but the winner was Voiter, who went for Bentancur, who got 12 points. That was shrewd.
That was a great shout.
So
yes, a strange show actually, but it paid off.
Yeah, so Voiter will be picking one of our captains this week. Mike, you've lost 2 weeks in a row, haven't you?
Yeah, having when we weren't having our captains picked, won I think 5 in a row. But it's fine.
He's not bitter or anything.
I think the pressure's come on, and I've not coped very well with it. But hopefully today will be different.
So shall we hit the quiz? Have you boys got quizzes ready?
I have.
Oh, yeah.
FPL related quizzes?
Yes.
Excellent. Let's play our quiz. It's a quiz, it's a quiz, it's a quiz, it's a quiz. The loser gets their captain picked by a listener with great instinct. Sometimes cruel and sometimes kind. The listener is always right. It's a quiz, it's a quiz, it's a quiz, it's a quiz. we go. There we go. It's time for the quiz. Who wants to ask their question first? So this is new listeners. I mean, I very much doubt we'll have new listeners, but new listeners, we will each do a quick quiz to the other two, and the person who loses both of their quizzes will end up with their captain picked by Voiter this week. Who wants to go first?
I can go first, boys.
Okay, Anthony. Yes, please.
I've got a list of top scoring defenders in the game so far this season, gentlemen. The top 15, what you're going to do is go around alternately naming one until you cannot name one or you get one wrong, and then the other person will win. So it's top 15 here. Who would like to go first? Should we let Mike go first, Phil? Because I think he's feeling a little bit sore about the last couple of weeks. So let's let Mike go first.
Oh, don't feel sore, Mike. Don't feel sore.
I'll be fine. Thank you. All right, then. I'll go for Eric Dyer.
Correct. He's 5th on the list.
Okay, I'm going to go for Fabian Schär.
Oh, it's not one I would have gone for, but he is there, just behind Dyer on 29 points.
Didn't he have a couple of really good weeks?
He did. I think he scored a beauty, didn't he, one week? Yeah, 29 points. He's sat 7th in this list.
I'm not going to lie, lads. I'm at a complete loss at this point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, Saliba.
Oh.
Yes. Top he's top with 44 points.
Top. And I benched him last week for his 15 points.
Oh, so did I.
Oh, I didn't.
Well, we don't need to talk about last week's points.
No, let's move on from that.
So long ago that no one cares, Anne.
Yeah, indeed.
Okay, I'll go a bit more Route 1 and go Cancelo.
Yeah, no surprises that he's 2nd in the list.
Okay.
Michael.
Oh, there's one. What's his name? No, let's go Trippier.
Oh, 3rd on the list. Yep, 35 points. That's a good shout. Pressure's back on Philip. Who can he name?
I'm just trying to think of players who have scored. Yeah, I don't know who I can name. This one might be out of reach, but I'm going to go Gabriel.
Oh, yep. 4th on the list.
It's nicely done.
Yeah, that's nice. So well done, boys. You've named the top 5 so far. Back to Michael.
Okay, look, there's a Brentford defender that scored goals, and I cannot remember his name. Cannot remember it. I'm going to go for another Arsenal defender. I think it's a bit Route 1, but they seem to be picking up points. So we've had Gabriel, we've had Saliba. Oh, they've been switching out, haven't they, at left back? Oh, no. I'm going to go Zinchenko and hope that he's played enough games.
I don't mean to make you feel more
sore,
for
Mike. Crying out loud.
He is not in the top 15. You could have had an Arsenal defender, Mr. White, Ben White. He sat there.
Ben White.
Really? Yeah.
Who's the Brentford defender? There's a Brentford defender.
No, there's not in the top 15, mate.
Oh,
I'll quickly run through the ones you missed. Diaz, Kilman, Emerson Royale, Perisic.
Kilman?
Yep.
They are boring.
Yeah. Veltman, Connor Cody. They're Everton. Collins, Wolves, who's now injured, and Trent Alexander-Arnold, of course.
Really?
So the 24 points. So that was your top 15, boys. So that is 1-0 to Phil.
Wow. It's a bunch of defence that's doing well, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah,
the exception of Cancelo.
Yeah. They're all pretty cheap options.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Do you want a quiz from me?
Would love one.
Yeah, great.
Okay, boys. So I've got the top 15 players based on bonus points.
I can't tell you how boring your quizzes are, guys. It's really boring. Let's have a post-production meeting about this. Tedious. Oh, points.
Yeah,
right.
But this is so. I mean, don't forget we're
it
fancy
helps our listeners.
podcast.
Yada yada yada. Okay, right. What's the
stat?
What's that you want?
Bonus points. Top 15 on bonus points.
Oh, for crying out loud!
Yeah, because there might be some surprises here.
Mike, why don't you go first again, just to see if it eases your anger slightly?
Bless you, you patronising so-and-so. Kevin De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne. I thought he wasn't going to be there. There's actually 16 players you can choose from. Kevin De Bruyne is there. He has received 6 bonus points this season.
Well, surely Haaland's got to be in there.
He's top 12 bonus points this season.
Hmm.
Amy, welcome back.
Welcome back, Amy.
Welcome back, Amy. Warm welcome to everyone on the pod. Giving a warm welcome back to Amy. I would say Saliba.
Saliba.
Correct. 9 points. Anthony, over to you.
Ivan Toney.
Yeah, he's up there. 8 points.
Mitrovic.
Well, what a
Clever.
shout that is.
Clever. 7 points. Yep.
What about Kieran Trippier?
What about Kieran Trippier?
I'm going to say his name. I think he's going to be in that list.
Well, he is in the list, but far, far lower down. He's only got 4, and so I'm afraid you've lost on Kieran Trippier.
Oh, that is annoying.
Oh, time for me to perk right up. Okay.
You could have had Kane, McAllister, Cancelo, Odegaard, Gross. McAllister's got 9 bonus points this season.
Good grief.
Yeah, that's in the last 2 games against Fulham and Leicester. He's picked up 3 bonus points in each of those. In fact, in his last 4 games, he's picked up 9 bonus points.
Wow.
He is a man on fire. You could have had Cancelo, Odegaard, Gross, Firmino, Diego Dallo, Rashford, Nick Pope, Collins, and little Danny Pedence.
Wow. I mean,
he's picked
some
up
names I would not have got there.
6 bonus points. Yeah.
Good grief. Well, Mike, it's over to your really interesting quiz now.
Yeah, I can't wait for your interesting quiz, mate.
Well, just you wait.
You have built this up.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to you about players who have got none or less points so far this season. And I'm going to give you some stats on them and some facts. And I want you to tell me who they are.
Oh, wow. Okay, I like
none or less points.
That's right. None or less.
possible?
And we're going to start with the person. Well, here's your first fact about the first person.
Okay.
They have negative points for the season.
Oh.
And you can have one guess each after I give you the fact.
I'm going to dip straight in and go Harry Maguire.
It's not Harry Maguire. Phil?
Oh, I was going to go in and say Harry Maguire. I'm going to go in and say Luke Shaw.
Well, that's very annoying because I wanted to explain to you that his middle name is Haw. It is Luke Haw-Shaw. Wow.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well done, Phil.
Is it really his middle name or is it really -1? The answer to both is correct.
Because he has followed a similar route of Maguire, hasn't he?
But still gets picked for England, so...
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Right.
Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, we need to spend a bit more time talking about his middle name, surely. If you're,
Yeah.
I mean...
Is his middle name really Haw?
Mr. and Mrs. Shaw, first of all, why would you call your son, anybody, give their son the middle name Haw? Especially if it rhymes with your surname Shaw. That is disappointing.
Yeah, Luke Paul Haw-Shaw.
Yeah. Well,
there we go.
Okay, next up then. Let's go with
first to 5, is it? Or
it's first to 3 points.
First to 3. Okay, this
first
is
to 3.
Okay.
Okay, next up.
I mean, I have no knowledge now of anyone.
This player has played with Luke Shaw.
Harry Maguire.
No.
Right, yeah.
It's the only name I can think of who's terrible.
Dean Henderson. Yeah, no, he's not going to be on. No points. I've said it now. Next.
Okay, next. I mean, I don't want it to become really obvious. I'm just sat on Wikipedia. Next up. Personal life.
I don't think he's got that far. He's stuck in New York.
someone stuck in New York. This person has published 4 books.
Oh,
What?
4
4
books. I'll even give you the names of them.
hang on.
T-
Okay.
TJ and the hat trick, TJ and the penalty, TJ and the winning goal, and TJ and the cup run.
TJ. Who the heck is TJ?
Who is TJ? TJ's got no points. Or worse. No,
Okay, hang on. I'll go Theo Walcott.
It is Theo Walcott. This is
No way.
unbelievable.
What?
How have you pulled that out of the bag?
That is outrageous, Philip.
Because I was just trying to think of players beginning with T.
That's
And players who haven't played.
crazy.
I mean, that is probably in answer to one of the later questions.
Presumably he's got the
listeners.
middle to the G, but the J. Sorry, presumably his middle name is Jizz. I can't be sure, but I assume as much. Given what's going on down in
ridiculous.
Southampton at the
Phil,
moment.
if you
with
want to
middle
skip
names.
that out, we're on minute 21.
Well,
if you want to
I
put down the
can't
word
believe.
jizz.
So don't say it again, Anthony. I haven't got
Sorry.
time to edit. That was the biggest random punt I've ever made. That's come off.
I mean, he
Wow.
really is the forgotten man, isn't he? Apparently, he's still at Southampton. Who knew?
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll move on to the next one then. And yeah, incredible stuff. Incredible stuff.
What a shout! Well done.
Okay. Next up, for the hat trick, Phil. For the hat trick.
Okay, I'll guess early.
This player fell down a staircase as a baby, which caused alopecia.
Long-term
True.
alopecia.
I can't
he
tell
still-
you that. Can't tell you that.
Jamal Lascelles.
It's not Jamal Lascelles.
Phil Jones.
It's not Phil Jones.
In
In June 2015,
Phil.
hold on, let me at least give my second fact before you win the game.
No, here we go.
In June 2015, this player married one of S Club 8.
Oh, I don't know that, but I'm still going to go with it. And then I want to know more about S Club 8. I'm going to go John Joe Shelby.
Insane. It's John Joe Shelby.
Oh!
Wow. Yeah. Goodness me.
You just thought of a bold person. Outrageously good.
Yeah. Fair play.
Well,
yeah.
I
Married
mean-
Daisy Evans, in case you wanted to know.
Did not know that.
Daisy
Wow.
Evans. I wonder what she's
Daisy.
doing these
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
Wow.
Well, living off him, I think.
Yes.
But there you go.
Well done, Phil. I mean, it feels like you deserve that purely for the Theo Walcott shout, which was fairly outrageous. So
was-
well done.
Out of nowhere. Wow.
I can confirm that TJ and the winning goal is still available in all good bookshops and some rubbish ones too.
Well, that's 2 defeats for me, so that will be my captain pick this week.
Yes, it will.
I can confirm also that Theo Walcott's middle name is James.
Oh, okay. Good. I'm glad you
not-
checked.
Just a legal moment just to clarify. It is James and not what you said. Okay, I can't believe that we're having to make these legal claims still in episode 100. Right, boys, we've got some listener questions about fantasy football. But first, Mike, it's time for All Aboard. Are you ready? Are you ready for All
I'm ready.
Aboard?
We're doing
You are
all aboard
ready.
already.
Yeah, to get our minds in focus, see what's happening out there.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes. Ready now. Let's do it.
Look at him.
Well, hello there, and welcome to All Aboard, where we talk about the players that people are bringing on board their teams this week. The most popular transfers in. Let's look at goalkeepers first. Nick Pope. I know that Phil already has him. 160,313 folk have bought in the Pope. The white smoke has gone up. Saliba, top scorer as a defender, and a lot of people jumping on him as well. 250,000 people have transferred him in during the international break. In midfield, James Maddison, another 250,000 have jumped on him. And up front, Ivan Toney and Mitro as people go budget strikers. Lot of interest in the budget strikers. So a lot of people just following form. Toney, Mitro, Maddison, Saliba, Pope, and one outstanding one that may have taken a few people by surprise is Dalot of Manchester United. He's 5th on the list of most transferred in this week, perhaps off the back of his 2 goals on international duty. All aboard! Wait for it.
Well, there we have it. Thank you, Michael.
It's a very popular feature, that.
It's one of my
Very popular
favourites.
feature.
One of my favourites.
It's certainly a feature. So that's good. Okay, so listener questions now. Is Dominic Solanke the best Bournemouth asset to own, considering their fixtures? Is he worth jumping on? Right. Go ahead.
Talk us through those fixtures, please.
So I will talk you through those fixtures. Thank you for throwing that at me in a moment.
I've got them if that helps.
Thanks, Ant.
Anthony, you've got a lovely voice as well, so let's hear them.
It's very dull, but here we go. Brentford at home, Leicester home, Fulham away, Southampton at home, West Ham away, Tottenham at home. Certainly those next three of them at home. I'd say getting Solanke on board certainly looks appealing. He scored the other day, didn't he, against Nottingham Forest, and got an assist. So I would certainly be tempted. Which assets are you looking at here, boys? From our beloved Bournemouth.
I think the problem you got with Dom, and I love the man.
You're so loud, Mike. Are you able to move the microphone away from your massive mouth, please?
How's that?
Oh, that's better.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Apologies for that.
That's all right. I just hear you. It felt like your mouth was in my head.
I think I just project well. It's a curse as well as a blessing. I think the problem with Dom is if you're looking at players in and around that price point, he's competing with Mitro and Tony, and that's difficult.
Is he? Because he's a lot cheaper.
Is he?
It's 5.7.
No, he's not.
He's 5.7. Yeah,
he is. Yeah.
Solanke, 5.7.
Yeah, he started at 6 and he's gone all the way down to 5.7 now.
Wow. Well, then, yeah.
So when you're looking at Tony and Mitro, Tony's 7.3 and Mitro's a 6.9.
Well, that's blowing my mind. Yeah, definitely worth a look then.
I mean, the one thing I would throw into the mix is that he scored 12 of his 19 points so far this season in one game, in that Forest game. So whether that was, a bit of luck or to do with the opposition we were playing, I'm not quite sure. But certainly with our fixtures, 3 of which, as we just covered, are at home, I would definitely be tempted.
Okay, the player I'd be looking at, I'm tempted to get Solanke anyway, just to give me some money, because I've got Kane and Haaland up front, so I might have to downgrade Tony just to give me some money for elsewhere.
Dom Solanke is hot. He's hot topic of conversation in our household at the moment. My 6-year-old is just starting to get into football, largely through match attacks because he can't get to many games because tickets are short and what have you. So he's started collecting match attacks cards, and on match attacks you can have. I didn't realise this, but there are different versions of the same player. So you get, and I'm not sure Drew realised this either. So according to him, Jadon Sancho and Dom Solanke are better than Haaland and Kane, because you can get what's called a golden card or something, where they basically they're all of their attributes are at 100, even though on their normal card, Dom would be like in the 70s somewhere. So
70s, what an insult.
Well, they don't take it out of me, take it out of match attacks. But yeah, according to he keeps asking me, Dad, who's the best player? Is it Haaland or is it Dom Solanke? And I'm like, well, it's a
pretty
tough
close.
Call. It's a tough call. The Jadon Sancho Haaland is an easier call for me to make personally. But Dom Solanke. So I'm gonna get Dom to sign his match attacks for him on Saturday.
Oh, that's kind.
That. Yeah,
that's good.
And then quickly put it on eBay. I would go Jordan Zamora, Bournemouth's left back. He is so attacking, and in those fixtures, I mean, there's a chance Bournemouth could keep a clean sheet. I know they conceded 9 against Liverpool, but they've kept out Haaland this season, so anything is possible. But I do think he's a very attacking wing back, and he's owned by 0.2% of players. He's 4.4 million.
He also got the assist, didn't he? Last time out against Newcastle.
Got an assist last time out, yeah.
Yeah, he won't be on a lot of people's radars.
Exactly.
He played exceptionally well at Newcastle. He was our best player by some distance. So
I'm going Perisic to Zamora this week. Just a news flash, because Perisic gets subbed off after 60 odd minutes, and that is irritating.
True story. Yeah.
Yep. So okay. Any other Bournemouth assets?
Tavernier would be one, I think, very low ownership. Possibly not quite been in the as many FPL points as he possibly deserves, but he's been a real live wire, isn't he?
I've referred to Philip Billing quite a few times this season already. I think he's still at 5.5. I think. So yeah, he's an option. He's a differential.
Okay. Another question come in. What are you doing with Chelsea assets, or are you even considering them now? Potter's in. Is it a wait and see? What's your thoughts?
Wait and see. I think for me,
I've bought Reece James back in this week, because I could.
Yep. No, that's good reasoning.
Look, their run of fixtures is really good. Right up until the end of the year now. I'll rattle through them, but Crystal Palace, Wolves, Villa, Brentford, Man United, Brighton, Arsenal, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest.
You'd expect James to be playing every week as well, wouldn't you, under Potter?
You would. And I know he hasn't got as forward as maybe he has done in previous seasons, not been quite as cavalier, but yeah, I like him.
Can we not talk me into Reece James again for his 1 point?
Don't do it, mate.
Well, yeah, I like the look of him.
Havertz played well against England.
Scored a beauty, didn't he?
Beauty and a tap in.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
I'm not sure about Havertz myself.
No,
he'll be cheap, isn't he? And obviously down as a midfielder as well. But
James does still have really high ownership, 36% currently. So a lot of people have kept faith with him. But yes, I mean Sterling is the highest scoring points scorers for first season with 34. But I don't know about you boys. He didn't exactly impress for England, did he? In these two games, as to be fair, nobody really did. But yeah, definitely. I haven't got any Chelsea assets, and I won't be jumping on any just yet.
Kai Havertz, just so you know, is a forward in the game. He's 7.7.
As I said it, I doubted myself.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But I don't think I'd go near Kai Havertz, actually, considering the other options we've discussed so far.
Mm-hmm.
And you had Koulibaly.
Yeah, he went as soon as he got his red card, and he won't be coming in anytime soon.
Okay, great.
Be interested to see what he does with Cucurella. Obviously, somebody he's worked with closely before. Whether that sort of nails down that spot for him.
Well, he's struggled a bit, hasn't he? He's getting a bit. He's had a little bit of stick from Chelsea fans already since his move across from Brighton. So, be interesting one to keep an eye on. Like I say, now he's working Potter again.
But I think that is a wait and see. I think he is definitely a wait and see.
100%.
Yeah, because Chilwell has when he's come in, obviously for Tuchel, Chilwell has got more points than Cucurella. He's done very, very well.
Very, very well.
Very, very well. Okay, next question. Villa, Bournemouth, Brentford, Palace, Fulham, Leeds, Leicester, Forest and West Ham all have decent fixtures. But
gosh, okay.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of clubs there.
There's a lot of clubs. Villa, Bournemouth, Brentford, Palace, Fulham, Leeds, Leicester, Forest and West Ham. But they've all had fairly dodgy starts to the season. So team by team, what assets would interest you? In Aston Villa then?
Nobody.
Yeah, I mean, you're struggling. Funnily enough, I was just looking at Villa. Ollie Watkins hasn't even, scored since the third week of the season, and yet he's still their second highest point scorer of the season behind Martinez. Gerrard's under pressure there. You're struggling to have a case for any Villa assets, I think.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you one. Jacob Ramsey.
Okay.
Yeah, bit different. Differential.
Well, he has got 15 points, to be fair, in his last two games, so it's not the worst shot in the world, but other than him.
Tell you the big shock for me is Coutinho's played at least some of every game this season, and he's on 10 points.
I've only seen him up close and personal in one, and he was so poor.
Yeah, he looked
so poor. It was opening day, a lot's happened since then, a lot of water under the bridge, but
he's certainly in and out of that team, isn't he? Which you would never have expected when he signed for Villa. So yeah, that's a bit of a strange one, but he's completely out of form.
What about our dear friend and podcast listener, Tyrone Mings, who he's got 9 points in his last time out, and he's playing Leeds away. Well, all of Villa are playing Leeds away, and then Forest away in their next two games. He's gone down to 4.3 million.
Yeah, I know you think he's a threat from set pieces, but yeah, I'm not sure.
I just like him because he's aggressive.
He's aggressive.
It's very tall.
Okay. Well, very tall. You're getting all the insight here. Okay, I feel like we've done Bournemouth. So Brentford, then we've spoken about Ivan Toney. Anyone else at Brentford who excites you?
I mean, I was looking at Wisser earlier in the season, but he's started to just be dropped a little bit. Hasn't played 90 minutes across the last 3 game weeks. So yeah, I mean, it's all the Ivan Toney show, really, isn't it, for Brentford this season with that hat trick? He scored 47 points in FPL this season. The nearest or the next Brentford player scored 27, and that's Jensen, Matthias Jensen. So yeah, again, there's a bit like Villa's. You're struggling to pick out any assets really here, aren't we?
Sorry, PVC.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think you'd want to get anyone Brentford in because you just don't know who's going to start. They haven't got a sort of starting lineup that's concrete, have they? They like to sub early as well and use all the 5 subs. So yeah, maybe Janssen in midfield. He's come back recently, but he's only as a cheap budget midfielder. He's 4.4. If like me, you're stuck with Sean Longstaff, who's now been dropped. But
That was a weird one.
I couldn't believe that game. So we went to pick up gerbils on the Saturday.
As you do.
As you do.
Yeah,
And yeah, so I was excited to know that the gerbils. We picked up the gerbils. We had to drive like 25 minutes to pick up the gerbils. This is after I'd got up at like 5:30 to go and do the big shop in the morning. Then we had to drive the other way half an hour to pick up the gerbils. Then we got home. And
You're listening to Therapy for Phil.
Then we got the gerbils home, put them in their new home, and then I got a message from the lady we got the gerbils from. She said, "Oh, you'll probably want to get exactly the same food that I was giving them because otherwise they'll get ill." Brilliant. So then I had to drive around for nearly 2 hours on a wild goose chase looking for this specific food at various pet shops that didn't have it. So I listened to the Newcastle Bournemouth game and I was waiting for Longstaff.
Bloody hell, that was a long way in.
Yeah,
really
okay,
is.
right, we're there. Okay.
To it. I couldn't believe that Longstaff hadn't started. Why has Eddie done that to me?
Because he's useless. Well, I mean, Eddie isn't Longstaff is. It was a bizarre choice in the first place, that one, mate.
Yeah, well, I can't remember my initial point, but I'm angry. Okay. Next.
Sorry, can I just ask, are you bored of the gerbils yet?
Well, the kids,
Yeah,
the
you're
kids
bored.
really
You
like
can
them.
admit it to us. This is a safe space.
He's bored.
The kids really like them, and
Doesn't answer the question.
they've eaten pumpkin seeds out of my hand now.
So that's a yes.
That's boring. Really boring.
Okay.
You want to get yourself a baby elephant, mate.
Can't get baby elephants as easily as you think.
Just get a dog.
I'm not saying it's as easy. I know they don't have them at Pets at Home, but if you're going to invest, I mean, it sounds like you were driving for quite a while to get the gerbils sorted.
I spent a lot of money on fuel trying to find a
You
specific
probably
food.
could have found a baby elephant quicker.
I mean, Fern down to Bournemouth to Christchurch is not the same distance as wherever I can get a baby elephant.
Whipsnade? I don't know.
Whipsnade. Right, okay. Next team in that long list was Crystal Palace.
Yeah, I've got Zaha on my screenshot at the moment. Got a new system.
On your screenshot?
Yeah, I've got a new system. When I'm on the this is to try and stop me from making transfers. What I do is I play around with the transfers and then I screenshot it. And then if I can find a better one than that, I delete the old one and then replace it with a new screenshot on my phone.
Clever.
And I've even got a little on the iPhone. I don't know if you knew you could do this. There's a shortcut on the new iPhones or the newer iPhones.
All right,
Where you double tap the back, it screenshots for you. Oh, it's lovely. Anyway,
I've got a new iPhone.
you know, guys.
Oh,
very materialistic.
I've probably got a corporate iPhone.
Oh,
Yeah,
Domino's
it
every
is.
Friday.
It is corporate, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, in my screenshotted one, I've got Zaha coming in for next week.
Oh,
He's got
okay.
Chelsea this weekend. I'm going to get that over and done with, and then I like his fixtures.
Interestingly, Palace
Okay.
feel like they've had a good start, but they're fifth bottom.
Yeah,
But they
that's
have-
quite strange, isn't it? Really? Yeah.
They've had tricky fixtures like Bournemouth have, but and they have played one game less than most teams around.
Yeah,
them.
they have drawn half their games, haven't they? And I think that's the problem. That's what sees them down there. But yeah, I think they've actually at times been quite impressive. Eze
Don't
would be
forget-
another one for me.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't forget Eze, because he's on a lot of their set pieces now.
He's really low ownership as well. He's 5.5
2.2.
million, 2.2
2.2%
exactly.
ownership.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah.
And you know, past Chelsea this weekend, like you said, the fixtures are good. Leeds, Leicester, Wolves, Everton, Southampton, Forest, West Ham United, and Fulham. So yeah, definite assets to get in there.
Next team on the list of Fulham, then. Fulham. So without saying Mitrovic, what are you thinking?
It's tricky without saying Mitrovic, really, isn't it?
It is. Dan James went there. I'll be interested to see whether he ends up doing much at Fulham. Willian came in and was on loads of set pieces, and I felt like because do you remember that game at the start of the other season where he got 3 assists for Arsenal and we all got him in and then he was toilet?
Yes, and everyone did that, by the way. Everyone made that move.
Yeah. So Willian is 5.5 million. What a rhyme! And he. Yeah, I think he's an option.
Luke Paul Horshaw. Yeah, we're all about the rhymes today. I wouldn't touch Willian. I think that's a one-game wonder from him. But just to cut back on Dan James for you, the last 3 games he's played less than half an hour. So he came into the team game week 2, played 56 minutes, then 69, then 58, and it's been downhill from then. So
yeah, but he was at Leeds for some of those games.
Valid point, well made.
Thank you. Thank you
I
very
don't feel
much.
like I've offered the best facts and stats today.
Don't worry, because I told a very long story about picking up gerbil food, so people didn't sign up for that
This is
either.
very true, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Next team on that list are Leeds, a team we should be talking about, a team where it's fairly obvious and perhaps Route 1, but we should be looking at Patrick Bamford.
Should we?
Of course we should be. He's back, he's ready, he's raring to go. No, not his words, my words, but 7.3 million, 0.4% ownership. Is it time?
Nah.
No, thank you very much. Jack Harrison would be the only one that I would consider bringing in from Leeds.
Yeah, there's no one here exciting me at all. Everyone, of course, jumped on board. All Aboard, I think, is the inaugural episode of All Aboard was everyone getting on board Rodrigo, but he's injured.
He's crocked. But fixture-wise, it is good. It is Villa, Palace, Leicester, and Fulham, 4 of the next 5, with Arsenal in the middle of that. But they're very middle of the road this season, Leeds, aren't they? 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats, 10-4, 10 against. They're very middling.
The show that you went to, Phil, the show that you went to the week with Carl Kennedy, it was called The Doctor Will See You Now, wasn't it?
Alan Fletcher, yeah.
Which is going to be going to be one of our new features next week. So I'll be the Doctor, and I'll talk you through fitness updates on certain players that are in orange. That's whether I think they'll play or not.
I am a grown man, Malcolm.
Yeah, that's it's a good idea.
I don't think I'll be Dr. Carl.
Oh, what?
I think I'll be Dr. Mike.
I don't think it'll work as well without the Aussie accent.
Well, we'll see. Maybe you could get some relevant clips from Carl Kennedy saying that someone is healthy or they've got a broken leg. I don't know. Up to you. I don't know how deep you want to delve with this.
I tell you what, I mean, not to divert, but during the show, he was effectively talking about at one point there's kind of a thing on Neighbours, how Carl treated every illness, whether it was in the maternity ward or whatever. He was a doctor of all kinds, and that was a lot of fun. So there's got to be sound clips available for him doing treatment. I'll see what I can find.
Terrific.
See what I can find. So the next team on that long list was Leicester. A lot of people going in for Maddison, despite the fact that Leicester are bottom of the league.
He is a change I've made this week.
Well, hang on. How many changes have you made this week?
No, you've told me how to do this before. Hold on.
Oh, gosh, we don't have time for this.
Transfers.
Homepage.
Transfers. Go to the homepage. Yeah.
You're right there.
You
can
side. We haven't
right
done FPL for years, people. But
Wait, what do I do now? What homepage? What?
Come on. On the right-hand panel.
On the right-hand panel.
Total transfers.
Straight away already.
Yeah, and it will tell you transfer history. There's a little link, and it shows you the date and time that you made your transfers.
No, I can't see that on the homepage.
Oh gosh, let's do this after the pod. Let's just assume
We're an FPL podcast. We don't know how to find our transfers. This is beautiful stuff.
Not we, Mike.
On the homepage.
Go to points, and you've got your little panel on the right. Did your name and your team name?
Oh, you said to go to point. Right.
Points
Okay.
home, same thing, and then scroll right down.
Right.
Transfer
Game week history. I'm nearly there. Total transfers so far 25. This week 3.
Yay! There we go, people.
Who are they?
Oh, now you're asking. Madison's one of them for sure.
Okay, that'll do.
I've bought James in, and I've bought Mitro in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a lot of people jumping on Maddison. He's got 29 points, 7.9 million. He got 7 points against Spurs, and so people are excited about his fixtures. And you love a bit of James Maddison. Is he in your team?
No, he's not actually. But one player we'll be looking at is Yuri Tillemans, who scored 12 points over the last 2 games, and he's sat there unsurprisingly with low ownership because of how much Leicester are struggling. But he would definitely be one that I would potentially look at, but it would only be him or Maddison.
Wow, I like that. It's a bit of a curveball you've thrown us there, and I've enjoyed it.
Well, thank you.
Not only that, it's a stat-driven curveball.
How about another stat-driven curveball?
Go on.
4.4 million. His name literally translates into chestnut in Italian, castagna.
It's only 4.4 million.
4.4 million, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, they can't defend though, can they?
They can't.
Really
I mean, their goalkeeper has got 8 points in 8 games, which isn't the best. But okay, we'll move on from Leicester then. Forest. You see, a lot of people are jumping on these players because they've got good fixtures, but they have been fairly poor.
Well, they've been ahead in the last 2 home games and lost the lead in the second half. So, yeah.
Lingard was dropped. It's a case of who they start, isn't it?
Brennan Johnson is a mainstay in that team, isn't he? And he has been in the points earlier on in the season, but 5.9 million, 1.5% ownership, 23 points. No, not for me. I mean, the next 3 are good fixtures: Leicester away, Villa home, Wolves away. But
so many people have still got
assets.
So many people have still got Neco Williams. It's a Neco, not a Nico.
Yeah, 27.2%.
I've got him 4. He was a 4 million defender when I got him in. That's why.
Yeah, he's now 4.1. Does he still look good value?
Well, compared to Sean Longstaff, he's an absolute bargain.
No, this is true.
Okay, so Forest is a void, and West Ham then.
I mean,
are they going to turn the corner?
I mean, it couldn't get much worse for them, could it? Third bottom, lost 5 of their 7 league games this season, boys. Didn't predict that before the season started. Then they were pretty appalling in the last game away at Everton.
Sorry, guys, I'm performing this podcast in front of a live studio audience, and there's a bit of dissent in the background. If you can hear it, my apologies. Emily here is saying no.
Fair.
Yeah, I'd go along with Emily.
No to West Ham. I'm happy to take Emily's judgment on this one.
Okay.
As am I. Am I.
Next question. With Haaland away at Man United, he's not away at Man United. You told me this earlier. With Haaland against Man United this week, who have been resurgent, who is your captain pick?
Well, I don't have the Power Boys on this one, do I? As we know,
Who would it be, Ant?
Who would it be, Anthony? Come on now. We're living in a fantasy world.
I would go Kevin De Bruyne myself.
So still against Man United.
I've got a bit of an issue this week in that I've got 2 Arsenal, 2 Spurs playing each other. I've got 3 Man City. I've got Tony, who's against my goalkeeper Neto. It's a bit of a messy week. It's a week that feels like it's not going to get many points. I mean, if I was going really left field, I could go Trippier, who was away at Fulham. Yeah. But I think a lot of people will still go Haaland, won't they?
And it's on TV, isn't it? So it just makes it a bit more fun.
I'm going Maddison, lads.
Pardon?
You heard me.
Just because it's the last game of the game week. I like what you've done.
Yeah, it's clever, that, Mike. I like that.
It's at home to a leaky Nottingham Forest.
And it's a derby as well, isn't it, that game? It's a local derby, so it could be feisty.
Ooh, yeah, you've got me thinking about it now.
Yeah.
Plus, he's rested. Didn't play, as we know, he's obviously got something on Gareth Southgate because he will not get picked no matter how well he plays for England. So he will be well rested.
I don't want to massively unpick what you've just said, but it would be that Gareth Southgate's got something on him.
Gareth Gates is what?
No, if he had something on Gareth Southgate, then he would be playing every week. We'll leave it there. We don't need to.
My wife would be overjoyed if Gareth Gates got another mention.
Did I say Gareth Gates? Did I say Gareth Gates?
How did Will Young win?
In the audience that yes, I did.
Okay.
How did we make 100 episodes? This is incredible stuff.
It's
Still.
for sure going to be a shock if we make 101.
Will Young play for Aston Villa at left back this week? We'll have to wait and see.
Who knows? Who knows? Okay, that's fine. I mean, he is evergreen anyway. Thank you. Here for you. I mean, that will go over so many people's heads, but probably deserves more of a furore than it will get.
For you, that's really impressive.
Thank you. That tinge with
Sounded slightly patronising, but yeah, we'll go with it.
Yeah. If you're looking for a captain, I'd go Jamie Vardy against Forest.
Get out! You don't even know that he's going to start.
I know, that's the excitement of it.
Very old these days.
We're all very old, Anthony.
That's true.
Very
That's
old.
a fair point. That is a fair point.
Okay, last question. What have been your best and worst fantasy football decisions you've made in your illustrious FPL careers?
I haven't got time.
Illustrious.
I have not got
Yeah.
time. Don't know who asked this question.
This feels like we need this in the
The book will be out in due course.
Yeah. We haven't got time for that. I do remember one week a few seasons ago where I took out Firmino and then the following week he scored 4. So that was a particular highlight that kind of sticks out in my mind.
Mhm.
Good. Can't remember too many good decisions I've made, I have to say.
Yeah. The only good decision I've made was a couple of seasons ago when Bruno Fernandes signed for United, and I was miles behind, and I'd never heard of Bruno Fernandes, but I bought him in, and the rest is history. He was brilliant that season. But yeah, usually I for want of a better term, muck up double game weeks on a regular basis. I can't cope. Terrible.
I think, I don't want to look. Bless her, the Queen. She held on for as long as she could, but one that's raw in the memory are the 6 transfers I made between game weeks when games weren't played.
Okay, right, boys.
Oh, dear.
We've got to do our punts where we pick a player of less than 2% ownership, and if they come good, then next week we won't have our captains picked by a
Terrific.
listener.
Let me give you mine.
So yeah, less than 2% ownership. Who have you got?
I've gone Dom Solanke.
Yes.
He's rated 100 out of 100 in all attributes, guys. How can he not score?
It's a good point. Well made. What about you, Anthony?
0.7% ownership.
Love that.
Anthony?
I've gone for a player who we rubbished on the pod, so it feels like a good one to go for. Kai Havertz. 2% ownership away at Crystal Palace.
Okay, that is
Over to you,
interesting.
Phil. Thank you.
I'm going to go for Harvey Barnes. So I've got an interest in the Monday night game.
Nice. That's a good shout. I like that.
He's 6.9 million, which at this stage seems steep. Owned by 1.1% of all players.
Surely one of those three's got to come off. They feel good ones this week.
Well, they feel good every week. Last week felt good when I went for Bella Kotchap, but that didn't work.
The crowds are gathering now, guys, because they're hearing the podcast is coming to an end. But what I would like to ask before we go is, can you remember the dance moves to the ketchup song?
It was like this, like over the top.
Like demonstrate?
Isn't that the Blockbusters dance you're doing?
No, Blockbusters dance. What?
Yeah.
Well, there was a dance for Bob Holness.
Yeah, there was at the end of each show.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the shop.
What, you did a dance to Blockbusters?
The TV show Blockbusters, there was definitely a dance at the end, and it was not dissimilar to what you just did for the ketchup.
I think it was like cross, like you flat, put your hands flat, one above the other, and then you cross them and do that, something like that.
I wonder, is that sign language for anything? Is that sign language for ketchup?
I doubt that.
I'm just going to have a quick look. Sign language. I mean, I know we've got to go, but I don't leave the listeners hanging on that. Sign language.
I mean, if ever there's a way to end your 100th episode.
Do you know what the sign language for ketchup is?
Go on.
It's not a great audio podcast, but you make actually that looks rude. You make your thumb and forefinger, you bring that together like you're holding something in your hand.
Yep.
And then you tap it on the top. That is sign language for ketchup.
Mike Googling this at the end of our 100th episode kind of sums us up beautifully, I feel.
Oh dear. Well, it's been a pleasure, boys. I hope you have a good weekend. It's Thursday. We're recording very late, so I'm going to upload this unedited. So that'll be a treat. Apologies if Anthony and Mike upset you with their guess at Theo Walcott's middle name, but we'll move on from that quickly. Have a lovely weekend. Take care.
Bye
Cheers.
now.